Port Charles had seen its share of chaos, murders, mob wars, betrayals that dug deeper than any bullet ever could, but nothing had shaken the town in recent months like the night Drew Kane was nearly killed. The shooting had set off a chain reaction of secrets, panic, and the most unexpected investigation Chase had ever handled. Nobody knew who the shooter was. Nobody knew why Drew had been targeted. And nobody knew the one truth Chase was about to uncover, the truth that would push Drew to the edge of panic, fear, and a desperation he had never known. This is that story. The hospital hallway smelled of antiseptic and fluorescent lights buzzed overhead like angry insects. Drew Kane lay in his bed, oxygen tubes winding around him like vines. The bullet had ripped through him at close range, and although he was alive, he wasn't whole. Not yet. His mind replayed the moment again and again. The dark alley, the footsteps behind him, a flash of metal, and then the gunshot. The pain. The fall. The silence. He had survived, but something gnawed at him from within. Someone wanted him dead, and the answer remained buried in shadows. Across the hall, Carly paced like a caged tiger. This never should have happened. He was just trying to help Jason fix that mess with the foundation paperwork. Now he's fighting for his life because someone decided to silence him. Sam stood beside her, arms crossed tightly. When Drew wakes up, maybe he'll remember something. A voice. A silhouette. Anything. "He's awake," said a voice behind them. They both turned to see Chase, still wearing his badge, his face etched with grim determination. "But he's not talking yet," he continued. "Let's give him time." Carly bristled. "Time is exactly what the shooter wants us to waste." Chase didn't deny it. Because deep down, he knew she was right. Port Charles Police Department, 7 p.m. Chase spread crime scene photos across the table, blood patterns, bullet casings, camera stills from nearby street angles. But something was wrong. Something didn't fit. His partner, Dante, leaned over. Trace results on the bullet came back. Same gun was used in 2 previous crimes. Chase's eyebrows rose. Which ones? A warehouse break-in last month, and the one from the docks. The one nobody filed a report about. Chase stiffened. Nobody filed a report. Right. Dante's voice grew low. Because the victim walked away. We never identified them. Chase flipped through the photos and paused on a familiar angle of Drew's injuries. A stomach-tightening realization hit him. What if the dock shooting victim was the same person who shot Drew? Chase whispered. Dante frowned, catching the shift in Chase's expression. "You know something you're not telling me." Chase didn't respond immediately. He had a name in his head. He had a theory. And he had a horrible feeling he was right. Drew woke in the middle of the night, groaning as the pain stabbed through him. Lights were dim, casting long shadows across the room. Someone sat at his bedside. "Easy," the voice whispered. Drew blinked. "Finn." "Hey," Finn said gently. "You are having another nightmare." Drew wiped sweat from his brow. "It's always the same. I hear footsteps behind me. I turn. I see. He froze. For the first time, the memory sharpened. A face. A familiar face. "You okay?" Finn asked, noticing the shift. Drew's voice rasped. "I saw him." Finn leaned closer. "Saw who?" Before he could answer, the door burst open. Carly hurried in, followed by Sam. "You're awake." Carly gasped. "Drew, thank God." Sam stepped closer, her eyes pleading. "Do you remember anything? Anything at all?" Drew swallowed. I think I do." They all held their breath. The room fell silent. But before Drew could speak, a sudden wave of panic hit him like a hammer. His heart rate spiked. The monitors shrieked. His lungs burned. Someone rushed in. "Elizabeth. What's happening?" Carly shouted. Finn grabbed Drew's arm, feeling the muscles trembling like wires under pressure. "He's panicking," Finn said urgently. "Something triggered him." Triggered by what? Or who? Chase didn't sleep. He spent the night reviewing old footage and crime logs. And then he saw it, a grainy picture from the docks. A person in a hoodie. But the face wasn't covered enough. Chase zoomed in, adjusted contrast, enhanced shadows. The face became clear. And his blood turned ice cold. "Oh my God," Chase whispered. He didn't want to believe it. But he had to. He grabbed his coat and raced out of the station. This changed everything. Hospital, 5 a.m. Chase arrived breathless, his badge swinging. He looked frantic, almost wild. Carly, Sam, and Finn were still outside Drew's room, half asleep, waiting for the doctors to stabilize him. Carly stood up instantly. Chase? What happened? Where's Drew? He demanded. Finn stepped forward. He's sedated. What's going on? Chase took a deep breath. I know who shot him. Silence. The world seemed to tilt. Sam's voice shook. Who? Chase hesitated, because saying it aloud made it real. It was someone Drew knows, Chase said. Someone he trusted. Carly's eyes narrowed. Tell us the name. Chase swallowed hard. But when you hear this, everything will change. Chase, Sam snapped. Say it. Chase exhaled slowly. The person who shot Drew was Jason. Carly staggered backward like she'd been hit. Sam went pale, shaking her head violently. No. No. Jason would never. Chase didn't back down. I saw the footage. And Drew must have remembered. That's why he panicked. Carly's anger erupted like fire. That's insane. Jason risked everything to protect Drew. Maybe once, Chase replied softly. But something changed. Jason was at the safe house, cleaning a weapon, when Spinelli burst through the door like a hurricane. Stone cold. Spinelli gasped. Jason looked up. What's wrong? Spinelli was sweating, out of breath, shaking. There's a rumor spreading across Port Charles. A very bad one. Jason's expression didn't change. Rumor about what? Oh dear heavens, Spinelli whispered, wringing his hands. They're saying you shot Drew. Jason froze. For a second, the entire world went silent. Then the weapon fell from his hand. What? Jason said flatly. Spinelli continued in a tumble of words. Officer Harrison Chase has allegedly informed several individuals, Carly included, of supposed footage from the docks linking you to the weapon used in the attack. Jason's face hardened. That's impossible. I know, stone cold. I know. Spinelli whispered. But they believe it. Jason didn't hesitate. I'm going to the hospital, he said. Carly stormed down the hallway, tears of fury streaking down her face. This is a lie. This is some sick setup. Chase followed. Carly, I'm not making this up. Then you're being played, she snapped. Sam stood off to the side, trembling. She didn't speak. She couldn't. If Jason had done this, her entire world would crumble. Chase tried reasoning. The security footage could be doctored, Carly screamed. You remember how many times things have been tampered with in this town? Before Chase could answer, the elevator dinged. Jason stepped out. The hallway exploded into tension. Carly gasped. Sam froze. Chase reached for his gun. Jason raised his hands slowly. I didn't shoot Drew, Jason said, his voice low and steady. Chase stepped forward. Then explain the footage. I can't explain what I haven't seen, Jason replied. But I know this. Someone wants you to think I did. Carly ran to him, gripping his arms. Jason, tell me the truth. You know the truth, Jason said gently. Sam's voice cracked. Then who was it? Jason looked at Chase. Where's Drew? In recovery, Chase answered. He nearly went into cardiac arrest when he remembered something. Jason's jaw tightened. He remembered the shooter. Chase nodded. Yes. And he reacted like he recognized you. Jason didn't deny it. But his eyes carried a truth deeper than words. Let me see him, Jason said. Chase intervened. Absolutely not. Carly stepped between them. If Jason wanted Drew dead, he wouldn't walk into the hospital like this. Think, Chase. Chase hesitated, conflicted. Jason's voice turned sharp. Take me to him. Now. Drew woke slowly, disoriented, his chest heavy with pain. He blinked at the sterile lights overhead. But when he turned his head, Jason stood there. Silence filled the room. Drew inhaled sharply. Memories flooded back. The alley. The gun. The face. Jason, Drew whispered. Jason stepped closer. Tell me what you think you saw. Drew's breathing quickened. I saw you. You were there. Jason didn't move. Look me in the eyes and say that again. Drew did. But something faltered.
The memory blurred, shifted, fractured. I
remember someone with your build, Drew admitted. Your stance. But the face. What about the face? Jason pushed.
Drew shook his head.
I'm not sure anymore. The memory is twisted.
Jason leaned in. I didn't shoot you, but someone wants you to think I did. Chase entered the room suddenly.
Enough.
Drew is recovering.
He doesn't need pressure. Jason ignored him. Who benefits from framing me?
Drew's eyes widened. He suddenly remembered something else. A flash. A sound.
A voice whispering behind him. He'll think it was Jason.
Drew gasped.
Jason, Drew whispered. Jason, it wasn't you.
Chase stiffened.
What? It was someone disguised as him, Drew rasped. Someone who wanted your face in my memory. Jason's voice darkened. Who?
Drew's eyes filled with fear.
The man who shot me was wearing a mask.
Drew struggled to sit up. He had your build, your jacket, even your walk, but the voice.
Jason leaned closer. Whose voice?
Drew swallowed hard. It was Shiloh. The room froze. Carly gasped. Sam stumbled backward.
Jason went rigid. Shiloh is dead, Chase protested.
Drew shook his head. Not Shiloh himself. Someone imitating him. Someone obsessed with him. Jason's eyes widened.
No, Jason whispered. It can't be.
Sam gripped the rail.
Who? Jason?
Who? Jason answered quietly.
There was one person left from Shiloh's circle. Someone we all forgot about. Chase stepped forward.
Who? Jason exhaled.
Douglas Miller.
Shiloh's most loyal follower.
The one who disappeared after Dawn of Day collapsed.
Chase's jaw dropped.
He blames me, and Drew, Jason said. He's the one who shot Drew.
Drew nodded weakly. Yes, it was him.
He said he'd finish what Shiloh started. Carly whispered, horrified. Oh my good. Chase grabbed his radio. Dante, get every available unit searching for Douglas Miller. He's armed and dangerous. Jason suddenly stood tall, jaw set. I'm going after him.
Chase blocked the door.
You're not a cop.
Jason's eyes turned cold.
You don't have time to do this by the book. Chase held his ground. And you don't have the authority to.
Drew's voice cut through the room. Chase.
Let him go.
Everyone looked at Drew.
You'll never find Douglas without Jason, Drew said.
He knows how that man thinks. He lived through Shiloh's reign.
He understands how followers operate. Chase's breathing grew tight.
He hated it.
But they were right.
This is insane, Chase muttered.
Jason spoke firmly.
This isn't about revenge.
It's about stopping him before he tries again.
Chase slowly lowered his hand from the door. Fine, he said.
But you're doing this with us.
Jason nodded. And the chase began.
On the outskirts of Port Charles, Douglas Miller sat in a dim cabin, lantern flickering beside him. His eyes were empty, void of reason, consumed by devotion to a dead man. Shiloh, he whispered into the darkness.
I completed the first step. But Drew survived.
And Jason still walks free.
He loaded his gun.
Tonight, he vowed, I finish your mission.
A wicked smile spread across his face.
Port Charles will remember us. The cabin was surrounded by woods, the night thick with fog. Chase, Dante, and Jason approached quietly, flashlights off, footsteps soft. Jason signaled to them. He heard breathing inside. Unsteady, erratic, dangerous. Then, a single gunshot shattered the silence. Go! Jason yelled. They kicked the door open. Douglas stood inside, gun raised, wild-eyed. You! Douglas shouted at Jason. The false prophet. The one Shiloh warned me about. Jason dove as Douglas fired again. The bullet missed by inches, splintering wood. Chase tackled Douglas from the side, but Douglas was strong, crazed strong. He slammed Chase against the wall. You're not stopping the divine plan. Douglas screamed. Jason moved with lightning speed, grabbing Douglas' arm and twisting until the gun dropped. Dante pinned him down, slapping cuffs onto his wrists. It's over. Dante shouted. Douglas thrashed, screaming Shiloh's name until Chase injected him with a sedative. Silence fell. Jason exhaled deeply, sweat dripping down his temple.
It was finally over.
Morning sunlight crept through the hospital windows.
Carly and Sam sat at Drew's bedside as Jason walked in. Drew smiled weakly.
You found him.
Jason nodded.
It's done. Carly rushed to Jason, hugging him fiercely.
I'm so sorry we doubted you.
Jason held her tightly.
You were scared.
I get it.
Sam approached slowly. Jason.
I'm sorry too. Jason touched her hand. We're okay.
Chase entered next.
Douglas Miller is in custody. But Jason, he paused, then sighed. I owe you an apology too. Jason smiled faintly. You were doing your job. Chase exhaled in relief.
Drew leaned back. Thank you. All of you. Carly wiped her eyes.
This town may be insane, but today we won. Jason nodded. For now. But deep in his eyes, something flickered.
A warning. A fear. A shadow. Because even though Douglas was behind bars, someone else had helped him. Someone still out there. Watching. Waiting.
A woman's silhouette stepped out of the shadows of Douglas's abandoned cabin, picking up the mask he used.
She smiled coldly. They think this is over, she whispered.
But Port Charles hasn't seen anything yet.
She tucked the mask into her coat.
They took everything from Shiloh.
Now, I'll take everything from them. She walked into the darkness. And the war began again.